Okay. Okay, so today's session will be on resume building. There is so much to talk about resume building, right? And I will also take you to the resume format that has been shared in Ematicus, and that is what you'll be using inside Ematicus. But I will also teach you apart from what is shared inside the Ematicus, I will also teach you about the different types of resume, what has to be put in, what has not, you should not put in. And all I think already you'll be having all of your resumes because most of you are working out there and all those things. Okay, so let me not bug you on the same thing again and again, but let me just add something new to it, and I will tell you some important techniques that when it comes to your resume building. Okay, but before that, last time we had a kind of a pre-assessment, right? And I was just having an assessment on your com skills, and to summarize that, all of you did a very good job. I think nobody was struggling in communications, as well as when it comes to your logical thinking, and your flow was also good. So there was not a big issue when it comes to your communication skills. Maybe I'll just run through very quick about each one's assessment. No, we started off with Akib's, and Akib, I'm just recollecting it. Just have it in your mind when I'm just saying some few things. It might be applicable for some, it might not be applicable for some, but it can be useful for you. Okay, the feedbacks. So Akib was the one who started off with, and he had a very good flow, right? The one of the strengths that he told was flexibility, right? Flexibility. And another weakness that he told was emotional. Okay, he becomes very emotional. So when it comes to weakness, please don't say I become very emotional, I become very short tempered, I become I'm very lazy. These are the things which the industry is not looking out for. See, when you are emotional, or when you are short tempered, or when you are lazy, some of them say, no, I'm very lazy, I feel very bored easily. So these are the things, your hobbies or your weakness or your strengths, it reflects your personality. So that is one thing that can be avoided. Okay, we will have a separate session on it, but I'm just moving on forward, I'm just telling it to you, right? So Anand, we had Anand was a recruiter, right? He's been working for 3 years. So the question that will be asked to Anand is, why investment banking? They're going to probe you on this. Whether you're going for any other jobs or for investment banking, they're going to ask you this question: why investment banking? Why are you not going into your recruitment field, right? And that was the thing. You have to be very careful in handling it. Okay, so his com skills was also good, not a big deal about Anand. And then we went into Aditya, right? Aditya was also a fresher who started off by saying, "My name is." That is a very good one, right? And a lot of questions was asked, and he was showing his, he was very ambitious about his life. So that was the overall picture that we can take from Aditya. Then we went into Anamika, right? When we asked Anamika, like, can you just define Anamika in one word? The first and the foremost word that she told was introvert. See, you are in an interview, and when somebody is asking something about you, always say something good about you, right? When you say like the first word itself, like I am an introvert, then there are so much of meetings out there in the office. Then you have to go meet out people over there. You have to handle clients. So what is the need and necessity for an interviewer or for an HR to choose an introvert inside his company? Right? So always be very careful. Let's see, there are some things like you can say, but there are some things, even though it is your personality, it is good that you don't say it out, you don't spit it out, right? So because she has a very good knowledge in accountant, she was an accountant at Accenture, there's so much of other things over there. Okay, so when you say you're an introvert, it talks about your low confidence. So don't say it out, right? When you are say something about yourself. So don't say it like I'm an introvert, because I'm not blaming about the personality, but I think you're getting what I'm trying to tell you. So don't say something, or don't get your get your weakness first rather than your strength. So then she said something about dedication, very dedicated, and all those things. That was very good. And then we went into Anupam had a very good com skills, okay, and he was much into sales. And the question which was asked was into sales, and he was talking more about sales. So the question was about leadership, and he told like leadership is key. I asked him like what is one quality that a leadership, or what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about leadership? Without this you cannot become a leader at all. So he told like leadership is key, but the right answer is leadership is influence, nothing more or nothing less. Right? When you are a leader, you have to make an impact on others. Without making an impact on others, you cannot become a leader at all. Okay, there are other factors out there. There are other criteria out there to become a leader, but it is very very difficult. You cannot become a leader without influence. Okay. uh Anand, can you just check your connectivity, because I think it's you only facing that issues. Maybe you can re-log in and come in, Anand, because I'm getting messages like Anand cannot hear me. Others, are you able to hear me, guys? Okay, perfect. So Anand, yeah, maybe try a little bit in your connectivity, maybe from your mobile or from wherever it is. I think it'll be good. Okay. So Anupam, yeah, sales was there, and he said something on BTech and a lot of IEEE papers. Okay, good one. These are all good things that defines you. But a little bit, Anupam was also good, but a little bit when it comes to leadership. So since you are into sales and all those things, you'll be leading a lot of people, right? So when you say about sales, the common question that they ask is sell me this pen if you are an MBA graduate. So they check on your convincing skills. Okay, then we went into Archit. Okay, Archit was very good, right? There was a very good answer by Archit was, can you say some of the three qualities that you want to pick up in a candidate? The first thing that he told was adaptability. That was bang on. That was very good, right? And then optimistic character, and then hard work as well as smart work. And then I asked him, what is the difference between hard work and smart work? Can you give me an example? And see, when somebody's asking us, when you're explaining something, or when you want to convey something, make sure that you use good examples so that it is very reachable. Right? For example, what is the difference between hard work and smart work? There are so much examples that you can give, but I can pick out the Abraham Lincoln's quote, that is, if you give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, I spend 4 hours sharpening the axe. You got it? Sharpening the axe is smart work, and you hit a tree with a blunt axe, that is hard work. No, usually they say sharpening your mind is something called as a smart work, right? So without knowing or without having a knowledge of something, you go there and you do some work, it becomes hard work. Yes, you have to spend a lot of time, but when you gain the right knowledge about the right thing, yes, you can easily do the job in time. So even they say, no, what is right communication? Right communication is not talking hi-fi English or talking something like the William Shakespeare. Right communication is right words to the right people at the right time. I repeat, what is right communication? Right choices of words to the right people at the right time. That's called right communication. Okay. Or you can also call it as effective communication. All right. And then we went into Chetan. Yeah, Chetan was also in office. Bhargavi is also in office. Then we went into Divya. Right. Divya has done her a BCom, I guess, in Christ University, and she was also working there in internship. It was convincing skills was there, but it could have been even more better. Okay, it could have been even more better. And maybe the way that you can convince people, or the way that you put forward yourself, can be a little more improved. Okay, not very bad, but yes, improvement need to be there when it comes to your convincing skills as well as your confidence level. Right? It should be little more. Okay. And yeah, then okay, others are also in office. Then we went into Komal. Komal was also very good. He is done his MCOM and all those things. He was an operation executive for years. He has work. See, when you have work experience, the expectation comes a little higher, right? When you have a fresher and you have a work experience, usually when you have work experience, it comes a little higher. So if even Komal can also little bit increase his level of confidence when he's answering that question. I'm not telling he's very poor, but a little bit improvement can be made, because we don't know who's going to be our competitors on the time of interviews. Okay, if there are some people who come up and they talk English, walk English, eat English, sleep English, maybe at that time you might feel little difficult to get in. All right, so it depends upon it. Okay, and then we asked about the dream company or the dream job. He wanted to get into a reputed company. Then he said he is interested in his creativity, creative minds, right? I asked him, how can you cut a cake, three cuts and make eight pieces. uh, you can make two vertical cuts and one horizontal cut, you get eight pieces. Okay, you make two vertical cuts and one horizontal cut, you get eight pieces. Now, is there any other way that you can get eight pieces? I'm just asking the crowd. I'm just asking you. Let me see anybody's creative. Because this is a common question, no? You have a cake, you have a circle.
Diagonal, one vertical.
Sorry?
Sir, I have the answer. Sir,
No, no, anybody can answer.
One vertical, one horizontal, and one diagonal.
Okay, that is what I have already
No,
told you.
that comes to six. That comes to six. Two diagonals.
sir, one vertical, one horizontal, and one from the between of the cake. Means it is a three. If we assume the cake is a means three-layered structure, then we can cut the cake from between.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that will definitely create it in eight pieces.
That's what I told you, right? That is, yeah, two horizontal and one horizontal. That you one you cut on the middle, one you cut on the top. Now, is there any other way apart from that?
Four diagonal, one vertical.
Okay, almost the same. Is there any other different way?
Yeah. There is another way. Hello.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah, there is one more way, like two cuts and then mount all the four pieces and then give one more cut.
Bingo, right answer. Good one. So when you make two vertical cuts, right? When you make two vertical cuts, you almost get the pieces, right? So what you do, you stack one over the other and make one cut, you get the eight pieces. Got it? So when you say you are creative, when you say you're creative, see, whatever words that come out of your mouth, the interviewer will have a test on it. See, usually when I conduct interviews, what I do is I just give them a piece of paper and I'll tell them, do something creative with it. Okay, I'll tell them you can draw, you can write, you can make craft work, or you can crush the paper and throw it on my face. You can do whatever you want, but do something creative. You know what? Most of the candidates, what they do, they just draw a mountain, they draw a tree, they draw a crow, they draw the sunrise, they draw the lake, they draw the boat, and they draw a coconut tree, and around the coconut tree they put a dog over there. I ask them, is this creativity? So when you are saying you're creative, yes, you have to show or prove them that you are creative. Okay, and then we had Murtasa. Yeah, Murtasa was also too good, because he has done a very good thing, like his civil engineering and MBA together, and then also an internship in Byju's, and later on he also added a lot of things for them. His comm skills was also too good. Okay, very good. That was his thing. Okay, and I asked him, like, no, one thing, like, Saturday and Sunday, right? If you're asked to work on the weekends or extra shifts or night shifts, something like that, will you be able to work, right? What can we answer at that time? Maybe we can say, I am I'm excited to work as far as I have my work to be done, right? If my work is little delayed or something, it's my pleasure to stay after the office hours also and make things done. Now, if you really don't have any work, then there's no way to you there's no thing for you to come on the weekends and work and all this. So Maybe you can say, if provided, if my work is pending, or if anything that I need to be done, yes, I'm willing to come and work even the night shifts, or the work in the weekends, and let my work be completed. Right? That's the thing that you can say. Some of them say I cannot work. Some of them say yes, I will work, as if 24 into 7 you will be in the office. So think before you answer. Okay, that is something really needed. Okay, and then we came into Nikhil. Right? Nikhil was also very good because he was handling on placements. So I think when you are saying like you are handling on placements, there's so much of people handling is expected out of you, right? And one thing that I wanted to share in Nikhil is like he was talking little too fast and also too long. See, HRs doesn't have the patience to listen to each and everything that you say. Point number one. Point number two is, when you're talking too fast, it's really difficult for some to catch what you're trying to say. So that was the one area that you could work on. And the other area is, some of your native slangs are coming out when you're talking. Right? I'm not telling you you have to talk like the American English or the British accent English. No, I'm not telling that, right? But maybe a little bit action that you can improve on it. Okay, because when you talk, if it is your native slang, because there are some people who have this habit of taking this native slang in when they're talking. So I'm not telling it's a big mistake and all those things, but a little bit focus can be given on it. Okay, then we went into Piyush, right? So Piyush was one who did his BTech and in mechanical, and the one thing that I noticed from Piyush was like, I think he was into the civil service exam, if I'm not wrong. Am I right? Right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So
Yes,
see,
sir.
so the one thing that Piyush had was the level of confidence was too good. Right? Level of confidence was too good, and the flow was too good. He had the command over the language. It was too good. But one thing that I wanted to say in Piyush is, when you are often saying about the civil service exam, because when you were talking, the from the HR's perspective, what we were getting is, oh my god, this fellow has to some way or the other crack the civil service exam and get into the civil service job, and he should be happy. The more interest was shown towards the civil service rather than investment banking. Right? That's why I asked a question like, if you have a chance to get into investment banking or the civil service exam, what will you get into? And there was also a subtle way of you saying like, okay, you managed it, but I'm just telling you because you are so much interested in it. I'm not telling it's wrong, but when you are there on an investment banking interview, maybe a little bit you can hold it up, keep it into yourself, and you can say like all is well, and proceed with the interviews that was given here. Okay, so that is one thing that I had in my mind, I wanted to tell you. Then we went into Prabhakar, right? Prabhakar was also good, and I think to Prabhakar, I think I asked something on leadership, and leadership is not good or something. You said something or the other about some negative aspect when it comes to leadership or something. Maybe I would have asked the question like, what was the message that you would have given to Mr. Narendra Modi ji at this time? Maybe that is the question that I would have asked. And if I'm not
No, uh, no, it was about a child who was holding Apple
yeah,
iPad
exactly,
and one.
exactly, I got
Yeah,
it. The Apple picture, right?
yeah,
So about
yeah,
leadership.
yeah.
See, or even some questions like, what is the message that you want to convey to Mr. Narendra Modi ji at this time? So, or can you say something about your college life, your college professor? Do you like your college and all those things? So most of them, what they do is they say something negative about it. So usually our mind is patterned like that. Okay, we when we ask about the strengths or when we ask about the weakness, usually weakness pops in our mind first rather than the strength. So it's a human tendency that comes into our mind. But don't say something negative about your college or about your the current leadership, or there are so much of things. Okay, you may like them, you may not like them, but when point of an interview, don't say something negative. So maybe we are all trying together to push towards a better India or something like that, because they expect something called as something positive in you, because there is something called as six hat techniques, okay, by Edward de Bono. And in that six hat, you have the black hat, you have the white hat, the blue hat, the red hat, the yellow hat, and the green hat, okay. And one hat is called the yellow hat. Yellow hat represents optimism, okay, optimistic thinking. So companies love people who are very optimistic, right? Not only companies, even when you have friends who are so optimistic, you know, you love them, right? So have you seen some of the friends you go, you mingle along with them, they, the way they talk, they crack jokes, you feel very, very positive. Okay, the atmosphere itself will change. So optimistic people are really welcomed in today's world. Okay, and then we went into Prashant, right? Prashant, and Prashant was the one was a little bit struggling in your com skills, right? So I'm not telling you are very poor or something, but you have to really work on your skills, right? Especially your flows, and especially I think on I was asking something on your unforgettable days, and even the difference between hard work and smart work, right? You will becoming, a little blank. So that is what I want to say. See, if some of you have wanted to improve your, this calm skills or this great flow, the flow is very important, right? Flow, and especially when it comes to even accent or something, maybe I encourage you to watch some good movies where they have a lot of dialogues. For example, the Shashank Redemption. I don't know how many of you watched this movie, right? It's an old movie, 1994 movie, and it's a prison break movie. And I don't know how many of you watched this movie. It's called the Shashank Redemption, right? And you could have watched it, and yeah, still the it's number one out there. So it's a very good movie where you have the conversations out there. You can listen to it. See, I wanted to tell more. I will tell it to you. There is something called as LSWR. Okay, LSWR. That is listening, speaking, writing, and reading. Okay, this is what is your com skills are all about. But what I suggest is there is something called as thinking should come before all these things. Right? What you think is only what you can speak. Right? So when you are watching a movie, the thought process that comes into a movie, you can stand before the mirror, okay, and talk. That is one good way of improving yourself. Okay, you can stand before the mirror and talk like, okay, what happened the whole day. You can talk that, or you can also you know share about the movie that you watched, the movie experience, something or the other. Okay, but it's all about by talking only, or by listening, or by talking only, you can get these skills. Nothing, it's not a big mantra or something like that. It comes under practice. Okay, maybe in the upcoming sessions I will just share a few of the things of it. And then we went into Preetham Kumar Pandey, right? uh, Again, not bad. Okay, not bad, very very good. He was also good. Not nothing to worry about Preetham. And even when it comes to Preeti Kohli also was too good. But one question when I asked about Preeti Kohli was, uh, you know she was little bit interested in doing her masters after 2 years. Okay, and inside an interview, when you say like I'm going to do my masters after 2 years, then there is something called as retention. As an HR point of view, what they do is they pick out candidates who can retain in the company for a long time. Okay, because they have a budget, and when they pick X, Y, or Z candidate, they used to have like, okay, this candidate will stay in this company for a long time. And when you say like, no, after 2 years I'm planning to do masters, even though you're a good candidate, there are chances there are chances for you to not to get selected. So that was the only thing that I had in my mind when it comes to about Preeti Kohli. Okay, Ritesh was also good, and Saneen from Kerala was also good. And one thing Saneen was talking was about is he had a good work experience about the accounts payable. He was working there in 1 year, and Wells Fargo. It was all good. Then had an offer to go abroad, and I mean the Middle East, and didn't find anything over there. Then you know came back. Then he said something about the football club, Liverpool, and all those things. I will tell it to you. Maybe after this, feedback, I will tell you what to say, what not to say, and tell me about yourself. That will help you out. Okay. And then we went into Saurabh. Saurabh was also good. Nothing to worry about Saurabh, and even Shreyas was also good, right? He has been working there in Emphasis, right? And the total experience was around 5.5 years, right? So they might ask like, why this investment banking and all those things, right? That was one thing that Shreyas should be, well equipped to answer those questions. Okay, then we went into Saujanya. Saujanya was too good, all right. Uh, Nothing to worry about her. And then the last was also Vinod, right? And from Agra, BCom. I think that was also not very bad. He was also too good. Okay, so these are the candidates whom I've had an assessment on. So I just given the feedback. But if I keep on giving the feedback, I think the time will get over. But just have see, the secret mantra of interview is nothing but your confidence level. Again, I'm telling you, okay, it's the confidence level. And how do you gain the confidence? If you have knowledge about what you're going to say. For example, uh, the question paper is around 100 marks, and if you know all the questions over there, automatically your confidence level goes up high. Okay, so you can build your confidence, and as well as your command over the language. That is one good thing that you can build on. So most of you have it already, so it's not a big deal, but maybe you can just improve it a little bit. Okay, so let's get on to today's session. So today's session is all about resume building, and as I told you, we already have a format in resume building. So today we're going to learn something on why, what, and how of the resumes, right? Why is this resume building? Why everywhere you go, they ask for this resume. Okay, what do you mean by this resume? Why resumes and all those things? And then we'll deal about the format here. Okay, please stick to the format, to the resumes that I'm going to share it with you today, because there should not be any deviations from these resumes, right? So they have a particular format here in Ematicus, and that is what you are to follow that. So let's not deviate from it. I will show you some of the sample resumes. It will be very easier for you to catch it, rather than getting on to the PPT slides. And I will show you some sample resumes which you should not follow. Okay, I'll get a walkthrough through it, and finally about some of the tips and resources that are inside this resume building. Okay, now before getting into this resume building, there is one thing called as the introduction. Okay, now if I ask you to again introduce yourself in a very impressive manner, and the objective is to get a goal, I think the class will get over. Okay, so I'm not going to do this thing, but what I'm going to do is, for some of you who really are struggling, or who really don't know how to start up, and this tell me about yourself, maybe what I will do is I will just take you through a short PPT of what to say and what not to say inside a tell me about yourself. Okay, just a quick, I'm going to run through, right? I'm going to run through, and after that we will continue with this resume building. Okay. Okay. So are you with me, guys? I know I'm doing a lot of talk show today. Okay, thank you. Let me have some water. Okay, thank you for your response. So now, in an interview, when you get inside an interview, what they ask is, the first and the foremost question that they ask is, tell me about yourself, or walk me through your resume. Whether it's going to be an investment banking, or whether it's going to be a government sector, or whether it's going to be a private sector, or whether you're going to get into any job. The first and the foremost question that they're going to ask is, tell me about yourself, or walk me through this, or can you say something about yourself. Now, we have to know, why are they asking you this question? Each and every interview you go, no, they ask you the same old question. From time immemorial, they have this habit of asking, tell me about yourself, tell me about yourself, tell me about yourself. Now, why are they asking you this question? The first and the foremost thing is, what is most important to you? They want to know what is most important to you. Now, you may say, like, I like Virat Kohli more than Sachin Tendulkar, right? Or you like pani puri more than masal puri. It You cannot say all those things. It might be important to you, but at the point of an interview, you cannot say it. So in a stipulated time, maybe around 2 minutes or a minute, or maybe around 1.5 minute to 2 minutes, they want you to say something which is very important, and which is aligning with the company goals or the need of the company, right? That is, they want to check on you, what is most important to you, right, in those 2 minutes. So in that 1 minute, what is important to you? How can you sell yourself? It's a kind of a selling tool, okay, that you can say. So when they ask you what is most important to you, you must frame something from from your experience that you have gained, or from the walk of your life that you've gained, something which the company is in need or in their want. So you have to fulfill that. So when you're asking about this, tell me about yourself, they are having this mindset. What is most important to you? What is he or she going to tell about himself? So that is the first thing that they are thinking in the back end. And the second thing is, are you fit for the job? Okay, what about his qualification? Is he qualified? Does he have the right educational degree? Right? Does he have the right marks? Okay, they are going to have a check on this qualification. Okay, is he a fresher? Is he an experienced? For some companies they need freshers, for some company they need experience. So there is a check over there. Are you qualified? Are you well qualified? Your educational degrees or your work experiences, right, are they well qualified? Does it match my requirement, right? That is the second thing. And next is your attitude. What is his attitude? How is he behaving? Right, will he be adaptable inside my work culture? There are some candidates who are good in their domain things and all those things, okay, but when it comes to attitude, you know the HR doesn't like one attitude. Can you guess what is that attitude all about? The HR doesn't like one attitude. Any guesses on the chat box? Any guesses on the chat box? Boastful, okay, almost. You are there. Overconfidence, yes.
My
Yes.
my way or highway attitude.
Okay.
Self-centric. Self-centric.
Self-centric, okay, proud, lethargic, egoistic, bossy nature. Yeah, we can put it in the nutshell. That's called as know it all attitude, right? Know it all attitude. I know everything. I know everything. I know everything. When a person says I know everything, what does it mean? He knows nothing, right? So this know it all attitude is one thing which bugs the HR so much. So I'm not telling you to be very submissive, not like that, but at the same time there are two extremes. The pendulum might swing the other way too, so be very careful. Okay, one is like the IC, we call it the inferiority complex. Some of them are very inferior when they face interviews, and the other time, you know on the other side you have something called as very very boastful, or you can also call it as the braggadocio. right? Have you heard about that word, braggadocio? Yeah, exactly. Okay, it's a kind of an arrogant behavior. Instead of boastful, uh, I will give you the word. Maybe learn this new word also. It's called as braggadocio, right? So it's like that is the attitude. So each company has their each company has their working culture. For example, if you work in company A, right, the ones who work there, for example, I worked in Mindtree has a separate work culture. When I went into Nestle had something kind of a different work culture. For example, they have this shoe polishing machine. Before you enter into Nestle's corporate office, you have a big shoe polishing machine. You have to polish your shoes and only you can enter into the office, and when you walk there you will have pin drop silence, right? So each one has different work culture. When you have Mindtree, you know what happens in the weekends. You have the pub there inside the company, right? You have parties out there. So the work culture is totally different. So are you when somebody is picking up a candidate, no, they will have a check like, okay, whether this personality will fit inside my company. And the next one is how you are fit for the job. That is your skill sets, about your communication skills, about your convincing skills, about your people handling skills, about your negotiation skills, about the way you carry yourselves. So, it's all about the skill set. Okay, is he skillful? For example, I'm starting something new, a new technology is coming in. Will he be able to cope up? Will he be a fast learner? Will he be a quick learner? Right? Will he be adaptable to that particular technology? So, that skill set. So, these are the things that will run inside the HR's mind when they ask this question. Okay, when they ask this question. Now we are going to look in, we are going to look in, detail for it. And for example, when they ask you this question, some of them have the habit of saying this. For example, tell me about yourself. They say, "Oh, thank you very much, sir or madam, for giving me this opportunity to introduce myself." Or they say, "It's my pleasure to introduce myself." Or they say, like, "Thank you very much, sir or madam, for shortlisting me for the personal interview." Now, is this right or wrong? Is this right or wrong? Okay, wrong, right, right, wrong, right, right, not relevant or unnecessary. The work culture of investment banking. I will tell you a little later, Vatsal, right? It depends upon each company. Maybe right, we are acknowledging they have called us. Okay, okay, maybe right, we are acknowledging they have called us. Okay, fine. See, I will tell you, it's the tone that matters. Okay, it's a tone does matter. For example, when they're asking you, can you just say something about yourself? For example, they're asking me, can you say something about yourself, Mananda? And I'm like, oh, thank you very much, sir or uh, madam, for giving me this opportunity. It's my pleasure to introduce myself. Now how does it sound, right? Or it's my pleasure to introduce myself, my name is, when you start like that, how does it sound? There are differences. Okay, so most of them from the IB side, from the investment banking side, doesn't want you to hear this thank you very much, sir or madam. Some of them say it's a kind of a weak start. Some of them don't feel that's the right way of starting it. So what they say is, instead of saying this thank you, instead of saying it's my pleasure, or for shortlisting me, okay, please, to put it in a nutshell, they say like cut the crap and let's get into the business. Understand? So most of them doesn't like it, but there are some HRs who really love it when they say. But I don't think in the IB industry you will have, you know these kinds of thank yous because they treat it as a weak start, right? They started as a weak start. So take right away you can get into the introduction without thanking, right? So it's all about the voice tone also, it matters. So Ina, tell me about yourself. What are the things that you can say? Maybe you can say your name, your place, your education qualifications. The most important thing is your achievements. And if you have work experience, you must say about your work experience. And if not, you can say about your internship or your academic projects, then about your strengths and your hobbies and ambitions. That strength and ambition is not mandatory because they might ask you the questions like, what is your strength or what is your weakness, or also ambition, what do you want to become like. But the others are good, especially when it comes to your achievements. Okay, I'm going little quick today. Now suppose when they ask you about your name, some of them have the habit of saying, this is pen, this is pencil, this is fan, this is Sharon, right? This is Divya, this is Himanshu, this is Vatsal, this is Pravakar, this is Preeti, right? Some of them see like it is wrong because it is treated as an object. This and that applies to an object, so don't say this is, right? And some of them say myself, right? If you have experience, okay, more than 8 plus of years of experience or 15 plus of year experience, some of them feel like it is right to say myself. But if you are a fresher or if you are a budding candidate, don't use myself. So these are the things where we have gathered from the HRs, from the IB sectors. So don't start with your tell me about yourself with myself, right? The right way of starting is you can say my name is Preeti, my name is Pravakar, my name is Himanshu, my name is Divya, right? That is the way that you can start off with. Okay, so that is the good and the best way of starting your tell me about yourself. Some of them feel like say like I am, and they say it's grammatically wrong too, right? So the best way of starting a tell me about yourself is start with my name is. And when you say about your place, when you say like I belong to New Delhi, that is one way of saying it. The second way of saying is, I belong to the capital of India, New Delhi. You're adding a little bit of adjectives over there, right? No, I belong to Hyderabad. I belong to the native of the Pearl City, Hyderabad. Now, look here, it makes a little difference. For example, if you are an HR and around 30, students are coming for an interview. And the first one you're asking them, tell me about yourself. He says like, my name is blah, 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 blah. And he goes on. The second one comes, the third one comes, the fourth one comes, the fifth one comes, the sixth. Everybody is saying the same thing. And you are the seventh one. And, you say like, my name is, and you say like, I belong to the capital of India, New Delhi. I am a native of the Pearl City, Hyderabad. You make a little difference, right? The small difference counts, right? Psychology plays an important role even inside an interview. So have that in your mind. And when it comes to your education qualification, please start with the highest education. That is, if you have done your MBA and then your BBA, you can say like I have done my MBA in XYZ college, and prior to that I have done my BBA in ABC college. So start with the highest education and come down. And in your education qualification, add what are the crash courses you have done, your diplomas, and most importantly, add the learning curve in Imaticus. Most of you, don't say about the learning curve in Imaticus when you go for an interview, right? There are some candidates who say like, in this education qualification, they say like, I studied in Americas, and the learning curve was too good. I learned on the trade life cycle. I learned on settlements. I learned on anti-money laundering. Out of which the favorite topic is anti-money laundering. And they start to explain few concepts of anti-money laundering. And what happens is they are probing the interviewer to ask something on or only on AML. That's the way you can drive the interviewer. When you say like this is my favorite subject, what happens is you make the HR to ask something on it. Understand? You are driving the interviewer and not the interviewer is asking you questions. That's the cheeky way of driving the interviewer. So add something about the Imaticus. That is very, very important, right? Add something on the learning curve in Imaticus, because that's the reason why you are here for an interview, right? You're all here for an investment banking interview. So add something on the education qualification. Now when I come on achievements, there are two types. One is professional achievements and one is personal achievements. Professional achievements is your career point of view, or your academic point of view. For example, uh, awards, recognitions, paper presentations, or any special appreciations that you won during your college life. And even in your workplace, for example, you would have won the best employee of the year, star employee of the year. Any good thing that you have achieved or you are recognized for, right? You can share it as your achievements. In your personal achievements, you can share something on your co-curricular activities, extracurricular activities. That is in your yoga, your music, your dance, your martial arts, your meditation, anything that you have achieved which you consider something as worthwhile, you can add that. Now please don't add in my first standard I got my first rank, in my second standard I got my second rank, in my third standard I got my third rank, and when I was in my fifth standard, I got the first place in my dance competition. So please don't say all those things, okay? If you are into the district wise or the state wise volleyball player or a tennis player or a cricket player who have represented your school or you have represented your company, something like that, and you have won something, yes, well and good, you can say something, okay? See, for example, I don't know how many of you are into stage shows. Any theater artist here? Any theater artist here? Nobody? Anybody? Okay, good, at least in college. Okay, anybody who's participated on AdsApp, Spotlights, Dramatics? Nobody? Any musicians here at least?
Yes, sir, me.
Okay, good one. Which instrument do you play?
I don't play, I sing.
Okay, sing. Good one.
Like, not musician.
Okay, fine. So, if you are a very, yeah, if you're,
Sorry to interrupt.
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, when you told about this highest qualification in this education tab, okay. So if somebody is doing MBA, if somebody is ongoing, like that course is ongoing, okay, it's about to get completed after 1 year or six months. So do they need to mention it in the
Yeah,
interview
that's
or
why
in
I
the
put
resume?
there, like, you can say like I'm pursuing. I think I forgot to tell you that. If you're currently pursuing something, you can say I'm pursuing that course. It's not a big deal.
Okay, so that will not be like the way you told that HRs will take care of all those things. That if somebody is
No,
doing
no,
some other
like
course,
no.
they
It's not
they
like that.
might.
It's like, see, MBA usually how they do this MBA is, some of them have this habit of doing MBA in distance education, right? In distance education, or are you doing it in that way, or are you going with a regular course?
No, I'm doing in distance only.
Yeah, that's what. So usually why they do this MBA is to climb up the ladder inside the company. Usually what happens is, inside a company, when you get inside the company, there is something called as the core field, okay, and there's something called as a management field. There are two ways. So what happens is, for example, if I'm a coder, okay, I'm a coder, and I love coding, so I'm getting into the technical side, okay, and as I'm climbing up the ladder, I will be given two options. I can become a senior programmer, or I can get into the management side, right? So if you want to enter into the management side, what they require is your MBA degree. So that is why most of them do this MBA in correspondence course or distance education, right? So that's not a big deal. Okay, so but see, when you're saying your achievements, make sure that it is worthwhile. Okay, for example, we conducted a theater show, and we called it as the 3BRA, 3 bedroom apartment. Okay, we did a theater show. We have our friends out there, and we did it in one of the theaters out here, and we rented one museum, or I mean, we rented one theater out there, and we gave tickets. It's a stage play, and it was a very good thing where it came on the paper. We went on the radios and all those things. So it's a big achievement, right? Maybe I think we did it after our college. As soon as our college got over, we did it. So theatrical play, something which is worthwhile, right? If you're playing drums, or if you're I played drums for SAE conventions. So that is we have it in the mechanical department used to host that SAE convention. I think mechanical department will be knowing. Any mechanical department out here, you will be knowing about the SAE convention. So it's a big convention where around 15 to 20 colleges came in, and we were responsible for the spotlight event. So something like that which makes you worthwhile, right? So mm, are you getting what I'm trying to tell you? So exactly. See, if you are a good organizer, right? If you're a good organizer, you can say like, my strength is I have good organization skills, right? It's not easy. For example, some of them are very good in organizing tools. They'll be responsible for the two organization. They'll be good in money handling and all those things. It's not easy, so everybody cannot do it. That's why they trust one or two, and they give whole a lot of money to them. So these are all good things that can reflect your personalities, right?
Sir,
For
events like happened in the university, so that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, sure. Even in college, for example, if you have participated in inter-college culturals, and you have won, you know, some good awards and recognitions, something special awards or recognitions, you excel in something, right? You can say it. You know what? Some of them say, if they really don't have any achievements, what they say is like, I'm an active blood donor. Okay, they use this word. I'm an active blood donor. Now, when they say it, what comes to your mind? Does it have a good it reflects something good about your personality? I'm an active blood donor. You know what? In each and every company, you have something called as the CSR, the corporate social responsibility, right? And when you say something like that, it adds flavor to you, right? It adds flavor to you. See, when we were in Mindtree, what we have to do is we have to go to the beaches, and we have to take all the garbage out there and put it on the bag and come, right? Early morning, 4 o'clock, we used to go there. So it all comes under this corporate social responsibility. So it's something, the bottom line is you're adding something good to your personality, which is much needed for the company. Are you getting the bottom line? Right? When you're onto the stage, it says something that you're not shy, you're bold enough, you're courageous. All right. So you're talented, you're skilled. Okay. Learning instruments, or learning musical instruments, or learning new languages also comes under this. Okay. So that is your achievement. So I'm just, putting it short. I want you to think over it. Maybe time doesn't permit for you to think right now, but in your leisure time, just have a paper and a pen and think about it, right? And think about it, and you will get a lot of ideas. Yes.
Yeah,
Sir, you have talked about.
Sir Preeti here.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just wanted to confirm that in this introduction, if we will add too many of achievements, because all of those which you have listed, like I can pick out couple of them.
Hmm.
So won't it be too lengthy for the, because the interviewer wants to know about your qualification more rather than your personal achievements. So
Exactly.
won't it be lengthy if we will add everything?
Very good question. That's what. If you make it lengthy, even though you achieved so far, it'll be like, okay, now what's going to happen, right? Okay, you have achieved it. Keep it for yourself. Now what's going to bother me, right? So please don't make it lengthy. Pick out some of the core things which is really you mean it is important. For example, participation doesn't mean that you have achieved. Some of them say, I have participated in that. I have participated in that. I participated in that. That doesn't come under achievements, right? Which you have really achieved and which is really worthwhile, add it under your achievements. That's what I'm again saying. So don't make it too lengthy, right? Which is worthwhile, you can say it.
Hi, hello.
Or maybe
Yeah, maybe you can put it
maybe
on the
we can
chat
have
box.
a way to say it.
Yes, Kohli, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so or maybe we can have a way to say it. We can, bind it in one sentence, everything, so that we can see in which type of activity the interviewer is interested, and then we can elaborate that particular thing. Maybe that
Yeah,
is one smart way
that
to
will
do
do.
that.
Yeah, that will do. But please don't make it too lengthy, right? Don't make the HR bug
Yeah.
down. That is very important.
Oh,
Hello,
yeah.
hello,
Okay.
Yes, Nikhil.
hello.
Yes, Nikhil.
Yes, sir. Actually, the problem is where I have given an interview in the in the investment bank. No, not on the investment bank, but the problem is coming with me. Not I don't know. Ki everyone face a problem. Like, oh, I know everything. Like, I know how to speak. You are saying that you have become the native language. So when we go to the interview, some type of nervousness. So we forgot to tell the achievements or anything. What is the key remedy to cover up this?
Yeah, see, that's what I say is, you know, prepare it. Don't mug it up, but prepare. Anything which goes under preparation is not in vain. Okay. When I say prepare, most of them have a habit of mugging it up. Okay, they when they mug it up, they just warm it before the HR, like how we mug up things and warm it the answer on the paper and get some marks. So don't mug it, but prepare. Speak before the mirror. I will tell you at the last. I will tell you some tips. Okay, at that time it will be useful for you. Okay,
See,
I will.
we don't know if we are speaking in our native language. The person who's listening, he or she more knows. So that's why I'm saying.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
we don't able to find out how we speak.
See,
That's
don't get too much carried away with that, right? That's what I said. You're not
okay.
too bad in it, right? You're not too bad in it, but a little bit of
Because I faced
improvement.
earlier also this problem. That's why.
Ah, that's what. So that's what I'm saying. I can
Yeah.
easily find it out. So, instead of talking like that, you could have little bit improve it by the way you listen more to some, you know, other accents. Like maybe you can watch some English movies and listen to those
That I
accents.
kept on listening.
Listening can help you a lot.
Listening and speaking also, sir. Yeah, not only listening because when I was rejected one time earlier, 1 year back, due to this problem only.
Okay.
Grammatical mistake and the native you have told me about. Na? I have
Mm-hmm.
given a MNC, one of the MNC company, Embry Prize is there, Delhi. So I
Mm-hmm.
was rejected through this round only, third and fourth round. So they are saying the native language. So don't used to find out why I'm speaking the correct English because that time I was dealing with the US clients, na? Canada clients. So I was more confident that I am speaking the good English. That's why he or she had actually rejected me. So
Okay.
you talk the triggered the same point. So that's why I'm asking the how you know
Maybe
about the, I'm speaking the
I'll
native
give you
language.
one good tip. Okay. Instead of
Yeah.
talking for a long time, maybe cut short your answers. That is one way
Okay.
where you can escape from the fangs. So instead of talking for a long time, because when you're talking for a long time you are making them to listen for a long time, so that might come
Yeah.
in their ears. So maybe you can little bit cut short your answers. I'm not telling when you cut short your answers, just say in few words, but you got what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay.
Maybe few sentences, not for a long time.
Okay. So I was also finding out what is wrong with my English, like what is happening, because I could not find about I am speaking in the native. The listening, like you have found that, matlab, like I am speaking in the native language. So that's why I'm asking how I
Nothing to
can
worry,
improve on
okay?
that
Nothing
also.
to worry at all. Maybe just cut short your
Yeah.
answers. Maybe when they ask some answers, just be very specific. Don't be generic and beat around the bush. Just be focused and to the point.
Okay. So last thing I want to ask, you have written the highest education. I have to tell, like I am an MBA pass out. I
Mhm.
have to tell the crash course you're talking about, the Imarticus crash course.
No, not only Mardigas crash course, any other crash courses that you have done, which you can mention, you can mention. For example, you have done any crash courses on, typewriting, right? You have achieved something
Okay.
on typewriting. You can say something on it. You got it.
Okay.
See, why I'm saying all this is there are some candidates who can't even speak for 30 seconds or 40 seconds when I'm talking about just tell me about it. So that's why I'm adding so much.
Yeah, we have to balance between. Actually, I
Ah,
speak for long that I face earlier also. I have given so many interviews, so these problems came. I elaborate much. That's
okay, Nikhil.
Manendra,
Yes,
Murtaza here.
yeah, Montesa.
Manendra, putting some analogies in the interview, does it is more impactful?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
If we put more analogies in the interview, is it more impactful?
Analogies. See, that's why I told you something called as Shivkera. Anybody has listened to Shivkera, the motivational speaker, Indian motivational speaker? Okay. See, Shivkera explains or speaks something in a very simple language. Okay. Uh, how can I say? He makes it very simple. Maybe I'll just put his name out there. Maybe you can just Google and see his. Okay. Yes, he has written the book called "Yeah, You Can Win, You Can Sell." You know, freedom is not free. You can achieve more. There are a lot of books. Okay, living with honor. A lot of books about Shivkera. Now, what when he speaks it in a very simple language, so that each and everybody can understand. Even fifth standard or sixth standard kids can also understand. The way he talks, and even PhD professors can also understand. So when you say like analogy, it's not bad, but make it in very simple terms. That will be very easier for anybody to get it instead of getting complicated terms, right? Okay, I'll go quick now. Okay, next it comes your experience or your project work, right? Next it comes your experience or your project work, right? Now, for example, those who have experience can talk about your experience that is in your workplace. That is, you have to say about your company name, your designation, and your roles and responsibilities, right? What was your roles and responsibilities? What were you doing in that company? That is very important, right? Where did you work? How long you've been there? What is your designation and your roles and responsibilities? And also to that, any achievements that you have added, during your work experience, you can add it. When it comes to freshers, it is good that you can say something about your internship and what did you learn out in that internship, and also about the academic projects for freshers, okay, who are not experienced. You can talk about your internship as well as your academic project. For example, we had our mini project in railway pantry system. Okay, pantry refers to food. So you have a gadget with a microprocessor, and you have a keypad in that gadget from 1 to 9. If you press 1, 2, and 3, it represents a particular food. For example, 1 refers to Maggie, 2 refers to chapati and dal, and 3 refers to some other food. Okay, what does it do? The signal will get transferred to the pantry system out there through this microprocessor, and along with the signals, the message is like, if you are sitting in the first class AC, your seat number, your coach number, and all the necessary details, your name and all those things, your age, will get transferred from your to that particular pantry system in the railway, and the food will be delivered from the where you are, the place that you're sitting. So no, the food comes to you directly. So that is the project that we did. So when you're explaining projects, don't get into the core concepts and explain some terminology which the HR doesn't understand, right? So you can say something which is very simple and each one can understand. And a major project was on speeding up of internet. Okay, for example, we did on something called as SERDES, SERDES. SER stands for serializer and DES stands for deserialize. Okay, and what happens is, for example, it's nothing but share it. In those days, when you want to transfer a file, we call it the FTP, file transfer protocol, from one object to another object. It takes lot of time. Okay, but when share it came, you can transfer a file within few seconds. You can transfer a movie within few seconds. Understand? So it becomes very easy to transfer files. So that was a project all about. So when you're explaining about your academic projects, make sure you don't explain into how does the microprocessor look, the 8085 microprocessor, it's there. No, don't bug the HR. Again, I'm telling you, don't bug the HR. make sure that you explain it in lay terms, right? And show that you have knowledge, express that you have knowledge on that, and you have done that project, right? That's your experience and your project works. Coming to the strengths, I already told you, right? It is not mandatory to have, say the strengths in your tell me about yourself, because when you say it, it comes like you have memorized it. But I will talk about the strengths and weakness little later in our interview prep sessions. Okay, so for now I'm just telling you, you can say that you are a quick learner, that is very good. Adaptability is also very good. Independent learner, very good. Leadership quality, if you have some leadership quality, if you showcase some of the leadership quality, it is also much better in it. Okay, fine. Okay, then comes your hobbies. The last one I wanted to say is your hobbies. When you say something your hobbies, it is good to end your tell me about yourself by saying your hobbies, right? That is, you are ending it in a very good way, right? It's like not much formal, but a little bit that is you want to show about yourself. Some of them say, what are your hobbies? I'm reading newspapers. Okay, when you say like you are reading newspapers, the next question that they ask is something related to your reading stuffs, or something related to the current affairs. There was one fellow, there was, one fellow who, you know, said like, what I asked him about, like, what are your hobbies? He said like reading newspapers. Okay, fine, very good. I asked him, who's the president of India? You know what he told? You know what he told? He told, sir, Modi ji, sir. I gave him another chance. So sorry, sir, sorry, sir. It's not Modi ji, sir. It's Pratibha Patel, sir. I gave no, it's wrong. I am giving him another chance. He told me, no, sir, it's not Pratibha Patel. No, sir, I really forgot. This is what how we behaved. So don't get caught in something which you're not used to, right? So yes, it's obvious that the one who is reading books has a good advantage over others. But if you're not really reading it, don't say I read newspapers, I read books. Because if you're caught and if they're asking some questions on your hobbies and if you don't know, right, it's something very difficult. For example, some of them say my famous personality, my inspiration I like the most is Sachin Tendulkar. Okay, when some question is asked on Sachin Tendulkar, what was the last score that he scored in the 2011 World Cup finals against Sri Lanka? I don't know how many of you are the answer. If you are a real fan of Sachin, right, right, understand. So you have to know something about it, right? You have to know something about it when they're asking you. Okay, guys, just hold on. I'll just finish it off, and then I'll take questions out from you, right? And because we also have to cover this resume building also, right? So just bear with me. Just bear with me. That's why I'm just running quick. I'll give you some time. Okay, fine. And then comes to your ambition. When somebody is saying about ambition, some of them say, what is your ambition? I want to become an IAS. I want to become an IPS. I want to clear my civil service exam. I want to get into it, right? I want to become an entrepreneur. I want to start a business. Okay, well and good. Now, why are you sitting here before me for an investment banking job? Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So don't say, I want to become a manager. I want to become an entrepreneur. I want to clear my IAS, IPS. It might be true, but you are sitting there for an investment banking sector. So say like I want to get placed in a good investment banking sector. That should be your ambition. You want to grow up your career in your investment banking sectors, right? Some of them say short-term goals and long-term goals. Well and good. If you have short-term goals, you can say. If you have long-term goals, you can say. But stick to this IB sectors, right? No, don't say like after 2 years I will be doing my masters, and after 5 years I'll be starting my business. It's unnecessary to say it. Understand? As long as you wanted to get inside the company, please avoid all these statements. Okay. Some of the tips: please don't memorize. Please don't memorize. Use good words, choice of words when you say. If you're really have a feeling like, right, I have to, change the way of our accent while we are speaking and all those things, what I do is, please practice before the mirror, right? And everybody has got mobile phones, right? And I don't know for what is it used for. Majorly it's used for gaming, majorly it's, WhatsApp is used, Insta is used, Facebook is used, right? What I suggest is, use your mobile phones for recording. You have your headsets, you have your mobile phones, okay? Now play and, say or tell me about yourself. Not only tell me about yourself, maybe some random questions you can take on, right? And or some of the views that you want to give, right? Now play it, record it, and listen to it. You will feel like, okay, fine, this is my voice. Oh, my voice is sounding like that. Okay, now can I change it here? Can I change it there? Right? You can work on it. So even in your tell me about yourself, play it and let your ears hear your voice, right? Body language. Maybe in the next session, I will teach you about body language. Please don't miss the next session. It will be a very interesting session on body language. Don't miss it. Okay. Now, vocabulary and grammar. See, when it comes to spoken English, right? When it comes to spoken English, there is two types of English. Okay, written English and spoken English. When you go for written English, grammar is going to be the key. But when it comes to spoken English, you know grammar is not going to be the key focus, but your flow, your command over the language, your logical thinking is going to be the key. So there's a difference, understand, right? So if you have basics grammars set up right, I think it's more than enough for you to nail the job interviews. Okay. And go through your resume. Please don't go without knowing what you put inside the resume. That is very, very important. In one interview, what happened was they asked you, can you say what is your executive summary or career objective that you put inside the resume? He just now handed over the resume to the interviewer, and he was like, in my career objective I put something about the organizational goals and my goals. No, it is nothing. What you put on the career objective is nothing what you say now, understand? So go through your resume, right? Make sure that you put something which reflects you, and you should be knowing what is there. That is very important. The last but not the least, be a connector, right? Be a connector. Without being a connector, if you are a mere communicator, I think it's very difficult. It's very, very difficult to get connected. See, that's why I think I've already shared this quote with you, right? Many people communicate, but only few connect. I hope I'm connecting with you for the past 1.5 hours. I hope I'm connecting with you, right? So it's the connect that matters most, right? The connect is what is required inside an interview. It's not only about communicating, but be a connector. When you're talking to someone, right, you have to connect with them. Without connecting, it is like mere communication, right? It is like mere communication. Okay, we'll get into Akib's question. Yes, Akib, that's it for tell me about yourself. Can you ask your question, or can you put it on the chat box too?
Yeah, hello.
Yes, Akib.
Yeah, so I was asking that when we put something in our hobbies, for example, a person likes to play football or he has a hobby playing football. So should it start with just a word football or playing football or something else?
Yeah, you can add like playing football, and maybe you can add about the achievements that you got through football also. For example, you have participated in a zonal competitions, right? I have represented my college, and I was the forward player, or you can say the positions out there. If you are the midfielder, or you are a defender, or if you are the goalkeeper, and if you have scored some goals to it. But the thing is, don't make it too lengthy. Again, I'm telling you, don't make it too lengthy. If you make it too lengthy, it'll be a little boring.
Yeah, because the keyword there is football, but still the start of that sentence matters.
Yeah, so maybe you could say like, when I'm coming about my hobbies are playing football, and football is one of my passion over there because I used to play it from my school days, and I was a team captain from my school, from my college, as well as even in my work spot. I used to represent my company.
Fine.
Simple
Thank
as
you.
that. Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. I think I have just given you a picture, a very broad picture on you know this. Tell me about yourself. I think, right. Okay. So you will know what to say, what not to say. Okay. So I think you got a picture. Now it is up to you to frame it. Okay. Now it's up to you to frame it. Okay. And maybe we will have it another introduction session, maybe in the interview prep, one or two, when we have. Okay, if time permits, we will have it, maybe a short introduction session. So see, this is what we are supposed to start off with. Like, the class and the trainer will be the panel, and we'll pick out the one who has really done a very good job when it comes to fetching a job. The objective is to get a job. Okay, and you have to introduce you in a most impressive way to the rest of the class. So see, you have 10 minutes time to write a script. I don't want to waste those 10 minutes in my class right now. So I'm giving you maybe the whole week's time or something, and maybe in the next session, or maybe in the interview prep session, one or two, I'll give you 2 minutes. Maybe you can talk on it. Okay, what do you think about adding an experience which is not more than 6 months in the resume? That is very good. Because in each and every company, when you work more than 6 months, it is counted, right? 6 months, they call it as a probational period. And if you are a fresher, right? If you are a fresher, uh, what I suggest is, if you have worked only for 6 months, then it's better not to put it there, and you can go it as a fresher, right? Then they will ask you some question: why did you leave this company? What went wrong over there? Right? Instead of facing all those questions, you can just enter into as a fresher. Okay. Now coming to yes, sure, I will give it to you. Maybe I'll finish this off. Maybe in the next session, I will just give it to you. Maybe in the meantime, also you also prepare and come with it. Okay. We will have a lot. See, there is nothing kind of a format like you have to tell me about yourself like that. It's not like that. But I'm giving you some of the tips so that it will make you to think. Okay, I can add it here. I can delete it here. I can put it there. Okay. Even in a resume, there is nothing called as a perfect resume. So don't stick to some patterns, but you know just feel what comes out of you, because I cannot take your personality and you cannot take my personality. Understand? So it's all about what you're going to say. I just gave you some blueprints. Okay. Yeah, for resume, here in Ematicus, I will give you the formats. Don't worry. Okay. Now, with the remaining time out there, I will run very quick, and I will also give you the best and what you need in a resume. Okay. So in a resume, what do you mean by a resume? Actually, resume, we call it as resume. Resume is a French word. Okay. Resume is a French word. And what does it mean? It means summary. Okay. What do you mean by curriculum vitae? CV, we call it as CV. What is it? Curriculum vitae. What does it mean? What language is that? Curriculum vitae.
Latin.
Very good. Superb. It's Latin. Okay. Curriculum
It,
vitae means
it is
Latin. What does it mean?
it is very long.
It's not short, sir. It is very detailed.
Okay. Okay, fine. See, curriculum vitae is nothing but it's called as course of life, right? It means course of life, right? Uh, so resume means summary and curriculum vitae means course of life. Okay. So what is the difference between these two? Resume will go for only 1 page or 2 page, but curriculum vitae can go for pages, right? It can go for pages. Now, what we used to follow here is, even though, some of them having 15 plus years of experience and, 20 plus years of experience, they want a single page resume because they don't want to bug the HR to get it too long. So what they do is they cut short and make it as a single page resume, very neatly aligned. Okay, when I'm talking about resumes and curriculum vitae, it's all about alignment and presentations. That is very very important inside a resume. Okay, so what is a resume? Resume is nothing but it shows about all your accomplishments, all your education qualification, about your achievements, accomplishments, awards, accolades, your interests. So that is what they put inside this resume. So resume is something which talks about you. Okay, for example, when they have your resume, you might not be physically present at that time, especially when you're applying it through online, right? You might not be physically present at the time, but your resume talks about you. It's you and your resume. So why do you need a resume is nothing but if to show that you are the potential employee. Right? And what are the things that you learned in this Cibop course that makes a little different when you're talking about the skill set, because you're learning something new about investment banking, you're learning about trade life cycle, you're learning about different things inside this investment banking. So that is they need people who are getting skilled in investment banking sectors. Okay, so that is the reason why you need a resume. Now, what do you think is as a good CV, the perfect CV? There is nothing called as a perfect CV. Right? There is nothing called as a perfect CV or a resume. So your CV or your resume is nothing but your replica, or it's a reflection of what you have achieved. For example, there are different types of CVs. Okay, one is called the chronological CV or the resume. Okay, chronological CV. That is, it is aligned in order. Okay, you have the career objective, you have the education qualification, you have your achievements, you have your work experience, you have your internship, you have your projects, then at the last you have your personal information, and then you have your declaration, and then you sign off. It comes under order, and especially your work experience will be in orderly format, right? For example, from 2018 to 2020, that is still present now, you will be working for the company. From 2016 to 2018, you have worked in XYZ company. From 2015 to 2017, you have worked in such company, right? So what happens? Chronological resume means everything will fall under order. It's an orderly way. Okay, that's the first type of resume. The second type of resume is called as functional resume or skill based resume. Now, what does it mean? Functional resume or skill based resume is nothing but they throw only the skills. Okay, I'm good at this skill, I'm good at computer skills, I'm good at investment banking skills, I'm good at negotiation skills, I'm good at people management, I'm good at convincing. So they throw out only on
Interrupting in between,
skills.
sir.
Sorry. Yes, Saurabh.
I want to ask, yeah, sir, while you were explaining about education qualification, you told me to present your higher education at the first go,
Yeah.
and then the 10th and 12th. Can you give an example of that? That how we do speaking like that? If I have done MBA and before that I've done BCom, and before that 10th, 12th, can you give a example how we represent that thing in our
Yeah, sure.
resume?
Maybe you can say like that's why I already told. Like, see, I have done my MBA in For example, Christ University, Bangalore, and prior to that, I have done my BBA in XYZ College, right? And when I'm coming back to my schooling, I did my schooling in Don Bosco, Egmore. I have done both my 10th and 12th in my Don Bosco, Egmore, and I've scored some good grades out of there. You could have seen that on my resume. Simple.
Cool, cool, perfect. Thanks.
Yeah, that's it. See, don't make it complicated, guys. Just go with the flow, how you are, right? So, as I'm telling you, I feel like I'm making things complicated. So don't make things complicated. Just go along with the flow, right? Okay.
Sir, where we will include what you told, that learning curve at MRTCS.
Yeah, in the education qualification, after that, you could have said, like, currently because you're pursuing, or recently you have finished something, right? So you could have seen, like, I'm pursuing my course at Ematicus, and or I've recently completed my course at Ematicus related to investment banking, and I have learned a couple of few things which is interesting in this investment banking. I have learned on the following things that you have put on your resume. That is what I'm going to show you right now. Okay, there are some things, one or two things that we put on this resume. You could add that, and out of which you can say, like, out of which this is my favorite topic, and you can drive the interviewer to ask the questions on that topic. Okay, cool. Okay, 1 second. Right, so so in a CV, or in a resume, there's something, not something called as a perfect CV, right? It is what your skills, or a kind of a sales tool that you have. You're selling it, right, on it. So the first type of resume is called the chronological resume. It comes under order. The second type of resume is called the functional or the skill based. That is, you put in only the skills to impress the interviewer. The third type is called as the combinational or the hybrid resume. Okay, that is, you have a mix of the chronological, you have it in the order, as well as you put the skill sets. That's the third type. Okay, and the fourth type is very interesting. It's called the creative resumes. I think you would have heard about the creative resumes. The creative resumes is it's you have it the you have it with a very colorful design, and you have two parts. You have the side part and the main part, where you put your biography on the left part of it, and you put all your achievements on the right part of it. Okay, colorful resumes. Maybe I will show you some creative resumes at the end of the session, maybe one or two, or maybe I can show it to you even now. Okay, just hold on. um, it'll be useful for you.
Sir, in the meantime, can you tell that currently there may be interviews going on in Emarticus only? Then, so they are having interview process from online or offline?
No, they're having it only on online right now, but I think we are going to get back on the classroom, and it also depends from city to city, right? I think now Mumbai is and all, I think still they are in lockdown, and I really don't know what is the government going to take the call over there. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Now see, now look at this resume. I'm not. I don't want to, look in the content of it, but just look at the presentations and the alignment and the way that they're given. It's a one-page resume. Now look here. He has given his, name and his designation on the top, and there is something written in some other language about him, and then his telephone number, his website, his address, then his education, his experience, his professional and language skills, awards and accolades, hobbies and interests. And look how he has put his hobbies and interests. He has put in terms of icons or logos, right? If he's interested in music, he has put his music icon. He is interested in travel, he has put his traveling icon, right? Any word, any other word for traveling, or the person who loves traveling is called, anybody knows?
Voyager.
Okay, it starts with G. I don't think he has done in the work, Word document. He has used Photoshops. Okay, the one who loves traveling is called as gallivanter. Heard about this word? It's called gallivanter, right? And the one who loves music is called as, I'll put it there. Okay. Right. Now just have a look at this. This is not your format here in Ematicus, but I'm just want to show you this is something called as the creative resume. So this is what is a creative resume. And another important thing that I want to show is, Melophile is also the one who likes music. I told you about chronological resumes. I told you about the functional resumes. I told you about the hybrid resumes. I told you about this creative resumes. And now it's going to be the boom. Okay, the last type of resume, it's going to be the boom. What does it called? It is called as the video resume. Okay, now I'll play you video. It's Are you able to hear the audio? Okay, yeah, very low voice. Okay, even though you don't get the volume, right, because I'm having 100% volume out there, right? For some it's audible, for some it's not audible. Okay, but I'll just play it. You have the subtitles out there. Okay, just watch those video resume. All right, this is going to be the future, okay, maybe in a few years from now, they're going to have these kinds of video resumes instead of carrying your paper and a pen. This is what they're going to have. Okay. Now, okay. Now, how long, how long does an HR spend on your resume? How long does your HR spend on your resume? Any guesses? 2 minutes. Okay.
Less than 30 seconds.
Good one. 5 minutes. Now, for example, there are 100 candidates out there. Okay. When we go with
Sir, less than 30 seconds.
yeah, you already got the answer. Okay. If there are 100 resumes and you spend 5 minutes for a resume, right? Can you imagine? Exactly. They call it a skimming. They skim through, right? So they spend only around, you know, 30 seconds or maximum, a minute. That's it. Not more than that. Okay. When you're talking about the keywords, what I want to say is when you're applying it through online, what happens is even some of you have worked as an HR recruiter, they'll be knowing much better. What they do is they have a kind of a filtration process, and usually what does the recruiter does is they get resumes from one particular topic. They call it as recently edited resume, right? Recently edited resume. So what happens when you send a resume, in the month of for example September, they have a requirement in the month of December. Okay. So what happens is they go to the system. There'll be thousands and thousands of investment banking resumes. Now if they want to pick out the resumes, what they do is they click on the option called as recently edited resume. Now what happens, the ones who have recently edited their resumes comes first, right? Or the ones who are recently uploaded their resumes comes first. So that's why when you're going through this online portal, we always say make some few changes again and again inside that resume. For example, even if you take one full stop out, right, it comes under recently edited resumes. And some of them have the habit of changing their executive summary or career objective, right? They have this habit of changing this executive summary or this career objective. So it comes under recently edited resumes, right? So what happens is your resume will be viewed and it will be finalized by the trainer. That is, you have to send your resumes to me, and then it will be forwarded to the placement coordinator, right? After your once it is finalized, you send to the placement coordinator. Then placement coordinator will have a word with the company HR over there and get your resumes fixed, and then you get into the interview. Now, what do you learn from it? So, before screening, your resume talks on behalf of you. Understand? Your resume talks on behalf of you. That is very, very important. So, without the HR having a look at you, the resume talks much, much about you. And now this is called as the resume format. Now, listen to me very carefully. We have come to the climax of it. Okay. This is the format that you really need to carry. Okay. This is the format that you really need to carry. So you have your one page resume here. On the right side, you have the photo, and the photo should be having the same background color, that is green in color, and you should be in business formals. Okay. You should be in business formals. When I say business formals, for example, let me see here. Uh, you know, look at the difference out there. Please don't put something on the Facebook, or please don't put something on the Insta or something like that. Okay. It looks very funny, but we are getting resumes like that. So that's why I'm making it very clear. So put your resumes in such a way that it looks very professional. And if you are a person with a beard, maybe I just request you to, at least for the sake of This photo over here, you can put a clean professional photo. Blazer is not that much required, but let it be professional. If it is if it is a blazer, it can look much better. Okay, I will show you some sample resumes also, right? So here is the important part of it. Okay, and then comes your executive summary. Okay, now how do you write your executive summary? On one hand, you have your photos out there, right? On one hand you have photos out there, and on the left hand you have your first name, right? Maybe I can take uh, uh, pen. Okay, you have your first name and your surname, and then your telephone number, right? In your telephone number, please mention your 10-digit telephone number. You know what, some of you only mention 9, and when you are getting selected and the HR wants to call you out, they don't have the number. These are all blunders. Okay, and when it comes to email ID, make something very professional. There was one email ID, meetyou@hell@gmail.com, see you at heaven@gmail.com. Now something like that. So please, I don't know where you guys get those email IDs from. Please, get some professional IDs, not something which is funky. Okay. Now, when it comes to executive summary, right? And I am Sanin. May- uh, that's what I'm telling you. Make it a little professional. No? Maybe you have your name, your full name, and your mail ID, something like that. Don't make it funky. Getting it? Okay. Now, coming to your executive summary, right? Coming to executive summary, most of them start with something called as gerund. You know what do you mean by gerund? Okay. I think, yeah. Anybody knows what do you mean by gerund? Exactly.
Related to English grammar.
Yeah. It's okay. Simple. Okay. Relate. Okay.
Or plus ing.
Yes, simple. Very good. Okay, let me put it here instead of talking over there. I mean, writing over there. See, gerund is nothing but verb plus ing. Okay, verb plus ing. Okay, gerund is nothing but verb plus ing. Now, some starts with infinitive. What do you mean by infinitive? Infinitive verb. Infinitive verb. Infinitive verb means two plus verb. Okay, infinitive verb means two plus the verb. For example, if I'm using gerund in the verb seek, I use it as seeking. If I use infinitive, I use to seek. Okay, most of them use this gerund and infinitive. Okay, good. Maybe to seek you know a position in your challenging environment. That is how they start off it. Now, when I'm talking about executive summary, please don't add words like investment banker, investment banking, and don't add words like mergers and acquisitions. Okay, this is what I heard from the HRs out there in the IB industry. They don't want those words to reflect in the executive summary. So please don't add investment banking, investment banker, mergers, acquisitions, right? Remove that from your executive summary. So what does your executive summary talk about? Your executive summary talks about your experience and your vision for your career, right? Your experience and your vision for your career. uh, Maybe I will show you some examples. Don't worry, right? Don't worry, I will show you some examples. I'm there to help you out. Okay, 1 second. um, okay, so don't put mergers or acquisitions, and don't also use personal pronouns. personal pronouns, or don't also use I like to, those kinds of personal pronouns inside your executive summaries. Now I'm just sharing some few examples, right, for okay, executive summaries. Just have a look at it. Now have a look at it. To secure the job in the finance sector in your organization, to learn new skills and deliver potential of financial analysis and strategic implementations of the new approach towards the development of the company. Right? Now look here, starting off with adjectives: ambitious and self-motivated individual with 4 years of professional experience, excellent knowledge of financial modeling. See, they never used like who is, I, some, you subtle way of saying yourself. 4 years of professional experience, excellent knowledge of financial modeling and reporting, and working knowledge of Tally and SAP, seeking a position of finance and accounts manager, and holding an MBA in finance from CAB. This can be avoided because you're mentioning in the education qualification, right? Just have a look at it. I'm not telling you have to do the same thing again, starting off with a gerund, right? A junior financial analyst to work in a fast paced and a challenging environment with strong passion. Look at it, look how they're using, with strong passion for the finance industry and able to utilize my financial decision making skills. Now for a fresher, look here, a recent finance graduate, look how they're starting off with. Understand? Right? Now look again here, an adjective here: desirous of making a career in a financial market, detail oriented accountant or detail oriented. Look at the words: energetic individual, looking to showcase excellent presentation skills and transform theoretical knowledge of banking principles into practical applications. Understand? Look here, an enthusiastic individual. So some start off with gerund, some start off with infinitive, and some start off with adjectives. Right? Now, what I suggest is take 2 or 3 executive summaries out there in the Google. Right? There are so much of executive summaries out there in the Google. Make sure that you take around 2 or 3 or even 5 or something, right, and club it which suits you. That will become easy. Your job becomes very easy, right? And don't maybe write big executive summaries. If it is around you know 2 or 3, it's okay, more than enough. Even one is also more than enough. Okay, so that is your executive summary, right? That is your executive summary. And in your education, put your your year. Okay, maybe I'll take the drawing tools again back. Yeah. Okay, put the year.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Yes.
We have to send our resume to you first.
Yes, exactly.
So, sir, what is your mail ID?
Hello.
I will give it to you.
So we have
All right, thank
Yeah.
we have sent the resume earlier also, so that's why.
Sorry, Nikhil.
You have to send again, sir. We have
Sorry.
sent the first class. We are having the first class articles. Hello.
Yeah, Nikhil.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
When we are having the first class in the center, na, so we have sent the resumes.
Oh,
Resumes.
you have already
So
sent
we
it?
have to send again also. Yeah, first class.
I mean, in this resume format.
No, not in this format.
No.
Our resumes.
Yeah, it's not your
Not
resume.
in this format.
sent earlier to someone IDs, right?
So that
For
is
in
not
first.
that is not required. Okay, this we need to have your format resumes in these formats.
So this format is mailed to us, sir?
I will mail it to you. Okay, don't
Okay,
worry. I
okay,
will mail it to you. I will mail you some samples also, some sample resumes also. You will have a look at it. You'll get an
okay.
idea of it. Okay,
If any changes, like you
we'll
go
work
through
on
the
it.
resumes of all the candidates.
Yeah, we'll work on it.
Okay,
Don't worry.
okay,
I'm there with you, so don't worry.
okay,
Okay.
okay,
Great. Yeah. So,
okay.
so your education, your year, and this is what I told you about what you have learned there. Okay, your investment banking, for example, securities, end-to-end trade life cycle, function of clearing and settlements, AML, KYC, asset management, risk management. So this is a format where you have to follow. You have to mention all these things as it is. Okay, and then comes your college name. That is your PG. This is one is PG. This one is UG, and if you have done your 12th and your 10th, okay, your university name and the city and the country. Again, the university name, the city and the country, right? The college name and the university name. Okay, I will send you some samples, so don't worry about it. Then comes your internship.
So,
Yes.
actually, sir, I want to. So sorry for the interrupting.
Yeah.
So Imaticus, we have to write on the basic education, like we have to when I write the MBA. So in there, I write the Imaticus on the internship or certificates. We have to write the Imaticus.
See, here on education, you write
Hello.
this Ematicus. The whole bunch you put it out here.
Okay, in the like in the basic where I have mentioned my post graduation grade.
Yeah.
There I have to write the Imaticus.
No, in Ematicus, in education, here you write your Ematicus. Here you write your
Okay,
PG, right? Here comes your PG.
okay, okay,
That is, you write your college name,
okay,
the university name, and the
okay,
course that you have taken. That is your Bachelor's of Commerce and your percentage.
okay.
Here
No, no.
comes
My
your,
question is like I have to write. I write under the certifications level. Like I have the many more certificates. So I have to write under that Imaticus. I have to write
no, no,
the
no, no, no,
in
no.
the
This is
major
the
education what
no,
I
no,
have
no, no.
written.
This is the format you have to, uh, work on. This is the resume that you have to carry out. So don't write on the
Okay,
certification, Ematicus. Here you have to put on education itself. You have to put Ematicus. That's why I'm sharing this format with you,
okay,
right?
okay, okay. Thank you
Yeah.
so
So
much.
your
Yeah,
college,
yeah.
your year that you have spent, that is from 2000, 16 to 2020 or
Sir, I have a question,
2015 to
sir.
2019. Uh, can you just bear with me, guys? I'll just finish it off that, and I'll take questions from you. Because if you're,
Sure, sir.
interrupting, I might lose what I'm going to tell because it's something important. Okay. So the same way, that is your college name, your PG, your UG, and your schooling. That is your 10th and 12th. And then comes your internship and your academic project. Okay, in your internship, mention what is the name of the company that you have done your internship, as well as the period of it, and what was the learning curve. What did you learn out there in your internship? Okay, and then comes your work experience. In your work experience, don't mention anything, just follow this pattern. In your work experience, just mention the period of work, that is you have been working for 3 years and 5 months, the designation, the company, the name of the company, and roles and responsibilities. Okay, roles and responsibilities. Only 5 points is more than enough. Don't make it 10 or 15. Five is more than enough. If you want to add something which you really wanted to put in, yes, you are welcome to. Okay, and in your additional qualification, you know put something about the new languages that you have learned, or the courses that you have appeared for, or you have you know undergone maybe 2 months course or 3 months course. That will come under your additional qualification. And as I already told you, in your achievements, as I already told you there, you can put something which is worthwhile in your achievements. Last but not the least comes your extracurricular activities, that is your hobbies. Okay, now I will show you some sample resumes. You will understand Okay, just a second. Just bear with me for another couple of minutes. I know the time is up, but just give me few more minutes. Okay, can you see here? This is one of the sample resume. This is a one-page resume,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? So the photos out there, the name, the telephone number, the mail ID, executive summary to secure a challenging position, a reputable organization, and contribute my learnings, knowledge, and skills in the growth of the organization and self. Simple and neat. Okay. And then comes your educational qualification. Now, see, look at the alignment. No, the alignment matters a lot. Your education, the same, things that she has put out there in Ematica's learning, and the college name and the university, the city, right? The college name, the university, and the city. Again, the college name, the university, and the city. Then the school name and the board and the city. Coming to the work experience, look here, 2 years and 4 months she has worked, and designation, experienced business associate, the company name, and the time period. And this is the roles and the responsibility, right? Now, 6 months before, she worked in a called project Raymond, and the role was quality auditor, and these are the roles and responsibilities that they have done. And then she has worked in two projects. Second project is fast track, that is the present project that she has worked, and the roles and responsibilities. Coming to the additional qualification, certification in computer fundamentals and MS Office, Tally ERP, achievements, whatever she has achieved, she has mentioned out there, and extracurricular activities. Okay, there's no need for declaration, there's no need for personal infos. Here at the footer you have something called as your infos, that is, you mention only your address, the father's name, and your date of birth. This is all that we expect if it is a simple one page resume. Got it? If it is a simple one page resume. Okay, I will show you another sample resume also. Right? See, like, when you put the business formulas, it'll be good. Right? It'll be good. So look here. Again, the same thing, right? The work experience, additional qualification, achievements, extracurricular activities. Now your question will be like, sir, I don't have any work experience. Now, does my resume look very blank? That is why I'm telling you to put internships as well as academic project. I will show you that also on kind of a resume. Now look here. This is also a one-page resume. Okay. In this, uh, just have a look at it. Look at the alignment. No, it's so neatly aligned. Now look here. Coming to the internship, the same thing she has put like the executive summary, the education, and all those things. Okay. And coming to the internship, she has done two internship. She has wished like May 2019 and May 2018. Okay. So look how she has put interned for 1 month at the Madras Medical Mission, Chennai, on functions of the HR department. During the internship, I helped assist in the recruitment and selection process of the support staff. And 2018, a 1 month internship at the Finmark trainers on the principles of management. Right. During the internship,
Is putting our grades compulsory?
yes, that's the format.
It is.
Yeah. See, then see, suppose if you're having very lower grade, right?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying.
Maybe what I suggest is have a word with the placement officer, because there might be some cutoffs also out there. Okay, they might help you to push
Okay.
your resume some way or the other. Okay, they might give you some ideas.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay,
Hello.
yeah.
Yeah. So only one doubt is there. Like if you have done MBA or anything, it marks any advantage while giving the interview the IB, because I have like they are the person the coming who have done BCom also coming, like who are pursuing the BCom also coming, pursuing the MBA also coming. So matlab, is it an advantage or something or not to that? So
See,
that's only question I want to ask.
MBA is nothing but see see in an interview when somebody's asking you such kind of questions, it's all about convincing them. Okay,
Yeah.
so what you can say? I've done my
Okay.
MBA, and
Okay.
when I get into some other company, MBA is all about people handling. So I've learned something on how
Yeah.
to
Right.
handle
Right.
people, even how to handle with subordinates, how to handle my clients. So it's a plus for me, right?
Okay. Okay.
It's the way you handle those
Yeah.
questions.
Okay.
So
So
as we have,
regarding
so
the
as we have,
yeah, please. Yeah, please.
yeah, sir, Piyush this side. Sir, as we are mentioning our qualifications in Emarticus column, so if we have done something related to finance, so that should also be highlighted in our resume by making some points like we have knowledge in this kind of a trade profiling, this kind of finance profiling.
Yes, sure. I will say it to you. Maybe you can add it. You can add it down. If you feel like I have done a lot of certifications, if you feel like you have done a lot of certifications, you can also add something called as certifications out there, and you can add it there. Okay. I will
And
show you.
sir,
So
if they like in Emarticus column, we have written down AML, anti-money laundering, and derivatives and swaps. So similar like that, we can also write in our other educational qualifications as well.
Maybe then they will ask you a question like, see, you've already studied there in that. Now, why you want to take up the Zimaticus course, and why you want to study it again? Are you
Okay.
don't you have the flair for your education, or you don't you get it in your mind? Are you a slow learner? They might ask you such kind of questions too, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
make sure that you present yourself that, yeah, I am the candidate. It should be like that.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
sir,
Thank you.
I have to add on that. Like certification of completion is also considered. Like we have doing the certification from the various online. You know that the online system is now generating a huge. So from the different Coursera,
Yeah.
CFA, many certificates the people is having. I
Yeah,
have
maybe
10
you
to
can
12
you
certificates. I
can
have to
add that
all have
too. Maybe, for example, some of you would have
that,
finished some courses from Udemy, right? Even that you can add that too.
I have I can add to, because I have done the, if I have done the 15 from the different sites, Udemy or Coursera or CFI, so I have to add that, but because they are the certification for the completion that anyone can do, so that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, sure.
I have to write
You can
that
add it.
also. Like, for certification.
You can add whatever you want.
Okay, if
See, there is nothing but no, there's nothing like you should add this, you should add that, you should not. At the bottom line, it is your resume, and it should talk about you. So don't take it in a very narrow mind way, but have a broad mind way of putting things like which can add more to your personality, which reflects more to your personality, right?
okay,
Now just have a look at
So
this.
they
In
can
the,
ask question.
yeah, they
Yeah,
see
question.
whatever you put inside the resume, you are allowing the HR to ask questions about it.
Ask the
Right?
questions about.
So
Okay.
make sure that if
Okay.
you put everything on the
No,
resume and if they ask some question and you don't
no,
know about to answer, then you are getting yourself trapped.
no. They have to filter out. Yeah, right.
Mhm. Okay. Right. Now have a look at this. Okay. So internship and then the academic project. Okay. Completed a 1 month project with Bharat Electronics on employee welfare and its impact on employee efficiency. She has written what did she learn out of it. Okay. Coming here to achievement school topper in class 12 English, awarded a certificate. Look here, awarded a certificate. She has put in the achievements. Awarded a certificate in marketing from a fashion perspective from New York, USA. Awarded a certificate in introduction to digital marketing from New York, USA. Then coming to the extracurricular activities, she has put, active member of the Rotary Club, member of the editorial board, Western classical music. So she plays music, right? Represented in inter-college cultural competitions, right? Maybe I will show you another resume also for your.
So I have a question. Okay, this is Sunny.
Yes, Sanin, go ahead.
Yeah. So I have a gap in between my work experience. So how do I defend myself?
we'll
Really?
we'll
On
have a
that.
separate session on interview prep. During that time I will tell you. See,
All right, all
because
right.
yeah, we have to deal that separately because that gap is somewhere
Yeah,
the HRs will probe you out.
yeah. I know that.
So we'll have it on,
Yeah.
okay?
All
Because
right,
there's a tactics that to deal with it.
all right, all right.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Okay. Maybe the last resume that I will show it to you today. Mm, okay. Now look here. Look at the additional qualifications. She's a fresher. Okay. She's a fresher, and she has put all the certifications in additional qualifications. Right. So in for some of you who have asked like where should I put my certifications? In your additional qualifications, you can put your certifications. It's a single page resume. Okay. Now I will show you a two-page resume. Just bear with me, right? Just for a few more minutes. Just bear with me. Um, all right. Now, are you able to see my screen, guys?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Now look here. Executive summaries, then internship, then academic projects. Look at the alignment. No, first look at the alignment. It's so neat. Then coming to the work experience, he has done a lot of jobs and also a lot of projects in it. Now look here, work experience, designation, company, roles and responsibilities. Here he has mentioned more than 5 roles and responsibilities, maybe just to fit the resume, right? Now look here, he has done 2 projects in the same company. Project 1 roles and responsibilities, project 2 roles and responsibilities. Okay, then comes his additional qualification, then is achievements. That's it. He never mentioned his extracurricular activities, right? Two-page resume. Okay, two-page resume. So, see, along with the sample resumes, what I like you to do is now, can you send all your mail IDs, right? Can you send all your mail IDs or on the chat box right now? What I'll do is I will forward you the resume format. I will forward you some of the sample resumes, and I will also forward you some of the powerful phrases that are used in a resume. For example, you might be wondering like, oh, what words can I add, to start off with, right? Some of the powerful phrases or some of the sentences that you wanted to use inside that resume. Okay. Uh, yeah. Please put in your all your IDs out there. All right. Maybe I will just show you that. I will send you a little bit of PDF also. That PDF has some power phrases that can be used inside a resume, and it shares something like. Just bear with me, just bear with me, guys. I know some of you are really interested. Some of you are still. I know that you will be. You might have some other appointments also. Okay,
No,
just
no, we are enjoying, sir. I wish to ask one question on experience, sir. Sir,
yeah.
you said that the experience should always mention long term and short term.
Mhm.
So, I want to go in the equity research profile in investment banking, but as we are in CIBOP, it's all about operations. So, how can I mention that?
See, some of them have the change from retail to investment. Okay. Similarly, you have a change of from here to there. See, it's all about convincing. How do you convince them? That matters. Now, why you really want to take up this investment banking? Along with the truth, add some enthusiasm when you answer that question. Okay. We will discuss that in little detail in interview prep sessions. Now, just have a look at this. Powerful phrases to build your resume. So I will send you these PDFs also, right? Now, what you'll do is like take the help of the sample resumes as well as the resume formats, as well as all these words that can be used inside the resume, adjectives and verbs that are helpful verbs that are used inside the resume, and work together, and maybe take a week's time. Okay, you can take a week's time, and then you can send it to me. Okay, cover letters are not that much needed here. Resume is more than enough.
Can you explain me more about the cover? What is it like? Or what is
See,
cover letter?
cover letter is nothing but maybe I will
System.
I will show you a sample cover letter maybe in the next class. I will show you a sample cover letter of how you have to sell your skills. How do you put your skills along with your resume?
So now you are showing the Imarticus logo is there in the besides the back of the
Exactly,
resume.
exactly. It should be there. In some companies, what they do is they, maybe in down here in Chennai, what they do is they don't require just a logo, right? But most of the companies, they prefer that Imarticus logo. So have along that logo when you are forwarding it to the placement officer. Have a word with her whether she wants the logo or not, and then it's easy. Maybe you can remove it off. It's not a big deal,
Okay.
right? So what I'll do is I'll send this sample resumes, and along with it some formats and all those things. You just have to edit it, and the main thing that I wanted to say is please follow whatever is given there and use the same font and the font size. The font name is Tahoma, right? And the font size is 10. So please use it, don't deviate from it, okay? And also have the same the background color. The font name is Tahoma. For example, when I send it when I send that resume to you, you just keep your cursor on the font and you can find out the font. I think I've already put out there. It's Tahoma, Tahoma.
Yeah, sir, it happens when you put cursor, it comes
Yeah, it comes.
automatically.
So automatically it comes. So
Will be open
always use the
to the
same
body.
format, I mean the same font size as well as the font name. Okay, fine then.
So, are you open to questions now?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, I asked in the beginning, can you tell us about the work culture of investment banking, like you told about Nestle and Mindtree, no?
See, I really not been into investment banking, but one thing what the investment banking is all having about the work cultures, having about is, I have heard from the BNP, I have heard from the Society General, they have a very friendly nature out there. But when it comes to work, yes, right, no company leaves you without getting the work done. And there are some shifts out there. Some of them have 2 to 8 or like that, and some of them have even night shifts. So there are some rotational shifts out there in IB. As you all know, IB is all about rotational shifts. About you're working for an US company and all those things. You have some shifts out there.
So related to this, I want to ask one question that there is trade life cycle and settlement. So we do settlements of these BSE and Sensex stocks or these Euro stocks and Nasdaq.
See, I really don't know. I'm not into this investment banking. Maybe you can ask the domain trainer if you want to really ask about this, core subjects.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, man.
So can you share your resume? So I can. Hello.
Uh, my resume is something different. Maybe I will show it to you in the next class also, right?
Okay.
I will share
Like
it with you.
any experience any experienced IB person, so we can
Yeah, sure,
get
sure.
like slightly.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, fine then. Then shall we wind up for today? Maybe in the next session we will maybe little bit continue about this resume building and get into the important topic on body language.
Yes, sir. Sure. Before that,
Yeah,
can you please give us like your email address or your contact details? Something if we are facing any problem, so we can contact you directly.
sure. I'll give it to you. I'm just pinging out here.
Thank you.
Yeah, I hope you got it. Right? Okay. Okay, well, we'll do one thing, okay? Maybe you can just send a test mail to my mail ID so that I can get your email IDs out from there. Otherwise, I need to just copy it out here, okay? And there are some
So,
chances.
according to you, sir, when we will have our interviews with companies, can you tell
Uh,
month, November, December?
no, I really don't know. Maybe you have to have a word with the placement officer for that. I really don't know because the placement officer will be having a word with all those companies. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah. So you can just have a test mail and send it, or send your mail IDs out there. Maybe from there I can pick it out and forward it to you. Latest by Monday EOD, end of the day. Okay.
So like one query is this.
Yeah,
Uh,
Nikhil, go ahead.
yes, sir. So basically, I want to ask while We have to speak in our accent only. We have to speak in the slight bit of the American accent because I want to. We have to stick on to that we are speaking in front of the interviewer. So because if we speak the American accent, so I think interviewer will think that we are flaunting something or anything like that. So just
No, see,
confirmation from that we have to
you're
change our
still
accent. So
you're still
because
not
American accent different. So,
you're still not come from that accent. See, I've already told you, it's not about not talking in American accent or
okay,
British accent. Okay, just be with your accent, but
yeah,
talk a little slow
okay,
when you're talking,
okay,
right? So don't
yeah,
be in
that's the
a hurry,
point.
very don't you're talking very fast.
Sir, Piyush, this side, I recently mailed you the test mail.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Piyush. Thank you.
I also made some.
Okay then. Okay, I'll send it to you
Okay,
by
thank
the
you so much.
end of Monday. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Then thank you. We'll meet in the next class. It was
Oh,
Pleasure, sir. Thank you.
thank you, man. Thank you so much,
so
and thank you
if
for
we have to
bearing with
extend
me.
the timings,
Little,
we have to.
yeah, it was little extra. I was like feeling like because usually students don't
No, no,
stay
no,
for
I'm
long time.
asking if we want to extend the time, we have to talk to the administration. That's why I'm asking.
No,
Because I think all want the timings for 3 hours. That's why I'm asking.
we will finish it off. No issues. Okay, because if you want any other extra classes also, we can do about it. It's not a big thing. Okay, because I will
Okay,
complete
that
it.
can be done.
No worries about it. I'll complete it. So there's no issue about it. You need not worry at all.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, guys, and have a happy weekend.
Okay,
Yeah. Thank you.
yeah, thank you.